Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and this is the beta for Chapter 4 of Elite Dangerous. I previously had a look at the exploration mechanics and I'm back here again using the new tools, but this time using them to find the unidentified signal sources. Now you bring up the analysis mode or the FSS scanner, and just as with finding planets, you can see the spectral graph down at the bottom, and right at the low end it's got the weaker type signals. These aren't planets. These are signal sources as well as scenarios, and it's very easy now to find these signal sources. These are all persistent, so if you leave the system and come back, you will see that they are still present, but they are still on timers, or they are on timers rather, and they will expire eventually, and then different versions will spawn. There's actually a lot of really ambient background chatter going on here, and they seem to be quite related to what's going on in each particular signal source. So nowadays, if you want to find a signal source of any particular type, you're going to be able to pretty much jump straight in, although it will be dependent on what signal sources actually spawn on the system when you jump in. Now, it's not all just signal sources. There are some of these. This one is orange. I was only able to find this one during this particular play session. I wondered what it was, a trade beacon. It turned out to be a mission, and you see that present here on the text indicator. As we come around, you can see it's a mission there, and it tells us the threat level of it. So I thought I'd go over and check it out, but unfortunately the servers are still very unstable at this point, and so I wasn't even all the way there, and yes, we got a disconnect. Another one, and another one, and another one. They just kept happening. There are plenty of things to find around the galaxy though. This one here was a bit elusive. Every time I tried to jump out, it sped away from me. So it's orbiting around the local star here, I think, and it's moving at such a speed that there's just no way to drop into it. I perhaps could have come around from the other direction, but with all the disconnects, I decided to move on. So what's really nice with Chapter 4 is that you can sit down for a half-hour play session and find a whole bunch of different things to go and investigate. This is a dramatic difference to the way Elite has been up until this point, where you have to basically fly around at random and hope that what you want actually spawns. Of course, you can increase those chances by being in the correct locations, but now it's much more deterministic. And whilst it's still a little bit too early to tell for sure, it does seem to offer a bit more of a sense of adventure out here. Here is one of the distress calls. I wanted to try this out, but as I dropped in, I got stuck in this never-ending loop of trying to drop out of Super Cruise, so I moved on. Once again, back in the FSS scanner, I wanted to have a look to see what else was available to find. Now, as in addition to those unidentified signal sources, there is also scenarios. These can be very elusive and a little bit difficult to track down. Now, there may actually be a technique to this, but I haven't figured it out yet. So for now, persistence seems to be the answer. And here, Blackbriar Base. So Chapter 4 drops with a whole bunch of new megaships and installations. The installations are fixed. The megaships, on the other hand, will jump around from system to system each week. Blackbriar Base is one of the fixed installations. Now, the scanner mode told me that this was going to be a scenario, and when I got here I wasn't offered a mission or anything like that, so I don't really know exactly what the scenario is meant to be. But what was going on here was a whole bunch of fighting. That means that this would be another location to get involved in conflict if you so desire. The scenarios are something I'm going to come back to and have a further look once the servers are a little bit more stable. But it's not all about signal sources or installations or scenarios. Up the top here, looking on the planet, you can see there's 14 geological features here, geological locations. So heading over to the planet, I wanted to find out just how easy it would be to get down to one of these. Now remember, previously on the live server, the way it exists up until now, you had to fly over the surface of the planet and eyeball these locations, and that meant it was pretty much impossible to find these unless you spent a huge amount of time or you had a bit of good luck. But now with Chapter 4, as soon as you've done the surface mapping, and you saw I did that extremely quick there, just 3 probes, all the points of interest are marked for you and you can fly straight down to them. Now do keep an eye on this. I want to show you how this looks. The analysis mode is still on, and I keep that on, and as you descend down, it sort of fades away as you enter orbital cruise and eventually glide mode and down to the surface of the planet. So in this case, it was a geological feature I found down here, more specifically geysers. But organic structures and even civilization elements can be found down here. Many within the bubble, of course, and without doubt, some out in the depths of space. Right now, looking about the internet a little bit, the new FSS Discovery mode seems to be getting a bit of a mixed reception. Most people, though, are pretty impressed with it and pretty pleased with it. A few are not too happy, and some just don't seem to get it. But for me, I'm really pleased with it. It means that I can jump into Elite now and spend a very short play session and find exactly what I want. I can go out into space and go on an adventure looking for different signal sources or whatever else. So the bottom line then is, as I said, everything is a lot more deterministic. You can jump into the game and just head towards the sort of locations that you want to find. And so I'm going to end this video on a brief look of the new lighting and the new colour gradients. You can see it to very good effect here. There's a nice red-orange glow over the entire area, cast across the ship, but also cast across the backdrop of space. And that coloration features very prominently inside the cockpit. Now it's going to be more prevalent as we travel around the galaxy, and that's something I'll be having a look at in another video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.